Hello everybody, my name's James. Welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 28 Deadline stream in partnership with FPL Team. And it's live. FPL Team is your best one-stop shop for all your future FPL planning. We are 7 minutes past 10 on Saturday, March the 8th. We're 53 minutes away from the Gameweek 28 deadline. Apologies for my lateness. I am still very much under the weather. Apologies in advance for any coughing. I will try and mute the mic as and when I feel the need to do so. I may struggle to get through the questions as quickly as I normally would do so, but I will do my best. Before I get into them, smash a like, hit the sub. It's all appreciated. I'll take you through graphics. My team as it stands is on screen, top right hand corner. I'll read it to you. It's Pickford, Alexander-Arnold, Castagna, Gabriel, Colwell, Salah, captain, Palmer, Vice and Kunku, Rodgers, Bowen, Isak. Lots of red flags on the bench. I am almost definitely going Cunha to Wood. That would move Castagna to the bench. And I'm going to have a think. And I'm going to make the decision during this stream about going, Mateta to Marmoush from -4. I would bench Morgan Rodgers and obviously put him ahead of Castagna on the bench under that circumstance. I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards not doing it at the moment and keeping a potential Haaland route open for next week. But I'll know while I'm talking the decision I want to make. And it could be that if I get word that Marmoush starts, that I might feel confidence in doing it. So I don't want to rule out that possibility. Just felt like the two players really under consideration for me. We're playing in the early kickoff. Let's wait till close to deadline. So that's what I'm going to do today. Predicted lineups for all 20 teams you'll find bottom right hand corner of the screen. Captaincy preferences, Salah over Palmer, then Nkunku, bit of a wild one. Haaland, Isak make up the rest of the top 5. That'll rotate. My top 10 captaincy picks will rotate with correct score predictions for all 10 games this week. Right at the bottom of the ticker, you'll see all the flag players and next 5 game week fixtures for all the teams. And above that and below me, the benching dilemmas, where there are 2 players together. The player with the tick is the preferred option to start out of those 2 players. They run in order left to right, and through pages 1 to 4, you will find goalkeepers on page 5. That's the graphics done. Nothing else major to announce. Good luck, everyone. Importantly, play it your way. Let's do the questions. Aaron McCalden says, morning, mate. Can you pick 2 from Timber, Robinson, Williams, Howson? Also, can't decide between Flecken and Verbruggen this week. Thanks for the help. Top content, as always. I presume this is a question to start. So from that, I'd probably go Timber, Robinson, I think. And keepers, little preference for Bruggen maybe over Flecken. I spoke yesterday about anticipating goals in a Brentford Villa game. Another reason why the Marmoush -4 doesn't feel quite right, because it's Rodgers, it's effective over Rodgers. Billy Taylor says, yo Jimbo, hope you're feeling better today. I have Dango and Jimenez. Which one is more of a priority sell? One of them will need to start in 29. As it stands, Jimenez is the more likely to start of the 2 in 29. I do think Jimenez will be back in the Fulham team actually today. So there's your answer. Vivek Gore says, hi James, start Rain, Ain't Nori or Mikolenko. It's like a socks question, this, isn't it? Ain't Nori, mate. Spooky Sorcerer says, hi James, if selling Hall would mean a -4, would you still take it if you can bench him for the next 2 weeks? We'll play Mikolenko this week and Castagna next week. I don't know what the value is, so is that a priority sell for you from that perspective, in the sense of, you're 0.6 up, for example, whereas you're only going to get sort of 0.2 if you leave it. I don't know what the relevance of that is. Try and think it in your head, right? So if you went 8 Nori instead, just as an example, and you can use different players here, that then maybe becomes an effective -4 for you over Mikolenko this week and Castagna next week. Do you believe 8 Nori, for example, you can use other players, would outscore those 2 players over the next 2? And then, in which case, there's some justifiable reasons for doing it. I often say kind of don't like taking -4s for defenders. I'm probably going to do that next week for maybe 2, but it will be for 2 players who are not playing. In this circumstance, because you've got a player that's injured, it's going at some point, isn't it? So consider that, mate. Tanky says, morning, James. Why is Wildcard 34 more popular than 35? Is it because people can keep their free hit? Maybe people using the free hit now. Maybe people want to use the free hit in 33. I wouldn't necessarily say that it is. I think for someone like me, who obviously doesn't have a free hit, Wildcard 34 will fix my problem, right? I can head towards 33, wildcard 34, set a new team for the final 5 game weeks. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it is tanky, to be honest, because I think plenty of people plan to use a free hit 34. So look around at various options, mate. If I had a free hit in pocket, I'd probably be wildcarding either next week or in 35. Jake says, morning James, hope you're well. Ignore if I'm benching dilemmas. Bench one of Cells and Areola. Bench one of Cells or Areola. I'd probably play Areola, actually. Although you may have the confliction of Isak, in which case maybe Cells. Bench one of Semenyo, Wood, and João Pedro. Cheers, mate. All the best. Semenyo. I wouldn't bench Wood out of that. Semenyo or João Pedro. Close that. Semenyo will play. He's playing my team. I'd probably play Semenyo. Alan Holohan says, morning James. Start Gakpo in the hope of 20 minutes or Dango in the hope of 60. Not selling Gakpo until next week as I've already sold Cunha. Consider a hit. Truthfully, if that's what it's going to take, yeah, potentially. I think if you've got Gakpo, you play it and you pray. I think if that's the way you're going. Super Sam Places, morning mate. Marmoush or Wood to buy this week. We'll be buying whichever one I don't buy this week, next week, as I won't be free hitting next week. Probably wildcard at some point between 30 and 32. Therefore, I think Wood, because we know that he'll play. That's the way I'm going to go, right? If I buy one of these two players, I'm going to go for Wood first and foremost, mate. Ian Everett says, hello, mate. Hope you're feeling better. I have Leno, Trossard, Kirkes, Aina on my bench. Is this bench boostable? Only playing my 11 who isn't guaranteed to start is Trent. Thanks as always for the great content. I'm going to say no. You've got 3 players away and Aina's at home to Man City. I reckon you might land better somewhere else. Look at Gameweek 30. For the same crowd of players, have a look at Gameweek 30 potentially. You might find you want to make a goalkeeper transfer, though. That would be the only thing. Mohammed Haraki says, hi James, bench one of Semenyo, Wood, Pedro. Literally done that for someone else. Good luck. Getty says, buy Wood or Marmoush. Literally just done that for someone else. Good luck. Frankie says, we'll delete if on bench dilemmas. Who'd start from Visser, Cliver and Bowen? With just one. Jared Bowen, I think, first and foremost, probably. Order there would be Bowen, Visser, Cliver, that order. FPL Uproar says, hey James, hope you got some rest. I did sleep well. To be honest, I waited for the missus to come back and she'd been home about 10 minutes and I was asleep, mate. And then my body woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and went, you not feel like you got a plane to catch, mate? And I was up for about an hour, but then I went back to sleep to about 8:30. What's your question? We'll probably do Cunha to Wood and Mateta to Marmoush. Thoughts, cheers. Well, yeah, very much considering. So good luck. With the Marmoush hit, I considered a couple of factors because obviously, I'd still like to have Mateta 30, but looking at game, he'll pay the hit over the 2 games when he's just in appearances, and then he's potentially got Leicester 30. It's more about the now as well. If I wait a week, then there's less justification in obviously doing it. Is he worth a -4 for me over Rodgers right now? It's kind of what I'm debating. Colin Johnson says, morning, mate. Hope you could hold Cunha this week, then sell for Haaland with Palmer to Minter and Trent to Munoz for -4. Keep Haaland for 30 and wildcard 31, keeping Salah and Isak though. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think one of the reasons as well to hold up Marmoush is to leave open the idea, what if Mo Salah gets injured in the week? I am going to force Haaland in. And I may take the route to just go Haaland anyway. That's a possibility that I decide to do that for 29. So I kind of want to leave that open, I think. So I'm going to advise the same. Adam says, morning, James. I've got a benching dilemma between Wood and Marmoush and Milenkovic and Mikalenko. Unsure if to go all out Forest. All the best for the GM. The good morning. Good luck to you too, mate. Definitely Wood for me. I do think it will be low scoring Forest City. I've said that all week. Wolves without Cunha, could Everton go there and keep it clean? Yeah, Milenkovic does have a threat and appeal from set plays. Not that I think City are particularly bad at them. Cool, that's close, isn't it? Milenkovic v Mikalenko. I would probably go Mikalenko. I think just about. Sorry, that's a Sox decision, isn't it? Ali Bismo says, "Hey James, if you were 500k-ish with wildcard free hit bench boost triple captain left, what would your target overall be at the end of game with 38 shares?" I'd target top 100k, mate. It's still doable. Vivek Gore says, "Would you take a hit to remove Rodgers for Cliver?" No. Big Chief says, "Hi James, need to use one free transfer Timber to 8 Nori or Castagne to 8 Nori and bench him. I have Gakpo, Isak and Cunha. I'm thinking of benching Cunha before using all my 5 free transfers to get through the blank. Use some free transfers to make your team better now, mate." Like, yeah, I've got 5 for 29. I hear that. You could make a transfer or 2 now, couldn't you? I mean, like, realistically, mate, if you're going to move Cunha on next week, right? What are you going to? Unless, again, it's part of a plan to switch up and put Haaland in. If it's not, if it's going to be like Cunha to Wood next week anyway, get it done, mate. From your choices, I would probably move Castagne on, I think, of the 2. Another Hoop says, "Good morning, James. Would you buy Chris Wood for Mateta or roll the transfer and play Semenyo? Already playing Kaiver. Thanks and good luck." I think, again, ultimately, you're probably going to want Chris Wood in next week, aren't you? So I'm going to say, yeah, go for it, mate. You would think Wood will pay you back over the 2 weeks, wouldn't you? AC7 says, "Hi, James. Running through 29, still have triple captain, free hit and wild card. Who would you replace Addison with to free up some funds next week? Thanks." Who would I replace Addison with next week? Ooh, Sales, perhaps more of an option because you're coming down, but I don't know if you might want to go cheaper. Kepa carry you kind of really nice, at least through to sort of like 33. If you wild card in and you still got your wild card, yeah. So Kepa probably carry through all right, mate. Mr. Feeper says, "On wildcard 29, Neto or Darwin for a 1 week punt?" Oh, I would go Neto, I think. Neto surely gets good minutes on Sunday, considering he didn't feature at all for Tuesday stay in me. Chelsea on Thursday night. Darwin, I have got in my predicted Liverpool lineup, but it's Darwin, isn't it? I'd go Neto. He's not a player I'd want for long anyway, either, Pedro Neto. Stephen Moore says, "Hi James, start Mikalenko, Castagne or Howson?" Probably just about Castagne on that one, I think. Sean G says, "Hi James, would you bench boost 30 with Pickford, Colwell, Minter and Dango?" The Pickford's off-putting on it. It's grim, that. Colwell against Tottenham's okay. I mean, that's better than it looks. Minter home to Villa's okay. Possible rotation straight after Cup quarter final. Utara, where are we at? It has to be a no, Sean, I'm afraid. Samuel Jameson says, "With doubts over Salah and Isak." What's the doubts over Salah, mate? "Is it worth making a transfer for a bench player this week?" Look, Isak, as we have to go on Isak as far as we know, he's absolutely fine. On Mo, like, even if he don't start, he'd be on a pitch, mate. Very little doubt about that. Philip Sukta says, "Hi James, thanks for the great content. I have 7 players for 28 at the moment. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Cunha. And was planning to run through with 11 for a -4. Surely you meant for Gameweek 29, I'm going to guess. For a -4, but now I need a -8 to field 11. Is free hit 29 a better option now? No. Again, Philip, the who is more important than the how many, right? So I would probably be in a position of taking a -8 for Gameweek 29. If I did still have the free hit, it wouldn't be a consideration for me under that circumstance. Matthew North says, "Good day, mate. My friend's cousin's wife has played their wild card, 12.8 million in the bank. Which 2 mids would you suggest?" 12.8 million in the bank. Which 2 mids would I suggest? Just trying to think what Bowen would leave you. Not quite enough, maybe. I would want Cliver in, I think. If I went Cliver, it's not really an either or scenario, is it? Cliver and Eze, if you can carry it through 28. If not, the midfielders for 29 are quite shit. Alternative, I'd go to maybe Bowen and Elanga as an alternative. There's a couple suggestions for you. Tanky says, what do you think is Spurs' best attacking three? Tell Son Odegaard. Okay, just ignoring the rest of the team and just pick a best front three. Kulusevski right, Richarlison left, Solanke up front. Emma23 says, bench one, please, Marmouche or Dango. Dango. Zed says, hey, James, as someone with no bench boost left thinking of doing Arsenal 30 to 32, free hit 33, wildcard 34, subject to Palace, Fulham. What would be the best AMs to go for, and is there an alternative strategy I should look at? So you are going to want to end up on one of Glasner or Howe, so it's probably going to be, well, from that point, it's either one, depending on whether maybe Glasner's got some bonus available in 31 or not, might influence that. It is going to be one of them two, probably, isn't it? Let's be honest. If you're starting in 30, I think if you're starting on 31, as I discussed on Tuesday, then like Unai Emery might be a consideration for me. And it could even be that if Emery doubled 33 and Palace didn't double in 33, they go, yeah, I might just go Emery for the 3 weeks. Would be a possibility under that circumstance. Andrew Parker says, would you buy Wood for -4 just to bench Dango or roll? Look, I can't say that it pays immediately on the week, but yeah, I would probably get it done. Khalid Skaney says, good afternoon, James. Bench one of Dango, Gabriel, Mikolenko, 8 Nori. Thank you. I'm going to say Mikolenko. Pushkar says, hi, James. Caught you live after a long time. How are you, mate? How's the wife and Harry? Wife is good, not ill. Harry is good, not ill either. I'm trying to keep my distance. On FPL, what is your advice to Dango owners? Any hits to be taken or should be benched? I have Mikolenko on bench. Yeah, look, let me tell you something right now. Go and look at Dango Utara's XG against Tottenham from the game in December, which I want to say was game week 14. That was just a substitute. Don't fret it. Still could be okay for you this week. And who knows, maybe someone gets injured this week. It's like, he's going to be back in the team next week. Gather yourself a bit more information, I think, in many scenarios. I think. Don't just hit out for the sake of it. Is it impossible that he starts tomorrow? Nope. Even in a wide position. Even at fullback. Played left back at Tottenham in December 2023 on New Year's Eve. Zubi says, morning, start Dango and Mikolenko. Like that, because of what I've just said. We'll go Dango and as per the benching dilemmas. Spooky Sorcerer, hi James. Hassan and Elanga and keep Vissa. Or Agbadu and Minta and Vissa to Wood. Hang on. Okay. Or Agbadu and Minta plus Vissa to Wood for a -4 for 29 and 30. We'll be benching one of those two attackers in 30 and wildcard 31. The safe answer here is to say the Wood option, mate. Frankie says, if chasing mini league, do you think Palmer captain is a good time to risk and go against the template, or is it just getting fancy? Cheers, mate. Have a golden one. Thank you, mate. You too. I would say, Frankie, there is a really clear debate to say that Mo Salah might not be the best captaincy in 5 weeks in a row between 29 and 33. He's the best captain this week, mate. Josh Davis says, hi, mate. Just wanted to thank you for all the content and say, come you Spurs. Thank you, Josh. You're very welcome. Have a good one. Alex Mewett says, hi, James. Would you be tempted to just do Rodgers to Semenyo this week? Given every plan I make, I do that move anyway next week. No, it's probably close enough that I'd probably still leave it be this. I get what you're saying, and I think it's reasonable to consider that, mate. But you may have something might happen this week that changes it, and therefore I think when it's close enough like that, wait, probably. Would you definitively say that Semenyo is definitely better than Rodgers this week? I'd say slightly maybe, but probably not enough to justify that. So I would carry on, mate. Good luck. Thomas Powers says, hi, James. I hope you're feeling better. Would you go Cunha to Beto or Marmoush can easily bench Beto in 30 and wildcard in 31 if everything goes to plan. Good luck, everyone, and be nice to each other. Spot on, pal. And Marmoush might be very handy for you in 30. I keep thinking that, but it feels like a big ask at this moment to know that they'll play Bournemouth on the Sunday in the FA Cup quarter-final, Leicester on the Wednesday, and admittedly the Manchester United game's not till the Sunday, 31, but to know now that he'd start 30 is tough, isn't it? Because City could definitely rotate at home to Leicester, couldn't they? But if he's sitting there, it'd be a really tough player to sell. The answer is I'd be going the Marmoush route, mate. Himanshu Sharma says, hey James, hope you're feeling better. I need to play catch up in my mini leagues with only triple captain played till now. Any differential asset you recommend to take on? As in to buy, I presume you mean. I had one in Mateta. I think Jared Bowen is kind of still in that bracket, and I really, really don't think that he will be. I really think Jared Bowen, if Brighton win in the cup, I think Jared Bowen will be a monster template pick come game week 33. I think his EO will be huge. I wouldn't even be surprised if he was getting captained by a lot of people in game week 33 under that circumstance. So kind of Jared Bowen was sort of 20% EO last week. I don't think many will jump on this week. I think those who were doing it would have done it last week or are waiting for next week. So I'm going to throw Jared Bowen's name into that at the moment. I think Marmoush up front falls very much into that category. Again, if you're free hitting 29, something like Munoz, I think, still falls into that category. I'm not sure what his EO is. Better than his actual ownership for sure, no doubt. There's a few for you, mate. Sarah D says, morning James, hope you feel better. Is triple captain Salah a bad idea this week? I wouldn't do it personally, just because there is clearly a small possibility based on Arne Slot's comments yesterday that he doesn't start. For me, in terms of the captaincy, if he didn't start and he's a sub, he'll still score off the bench. And if it is a 1-pointer, going to be 1 point with the majority of the rest of the other game. Triple captain, no, would not be taking that chance. I do think it's probably last opportunity for Mo. I think you'll want to look at other players, but I think that those options will exist with the likes of Isak, Haaland, and as just said, I really think Jared Bowen game week 33 might even be an option for that as well. So no, I would not be doing it if I had in hand. Billy Taylor says, I heard a rumour that if everyone doesn't smash a like, then there'll be no doubles in game week 33 or game week 36. Huge, if true. Billy, I want to tell you that that's a possibility anyway. It's legitimate. It's very unlikely, but there is a possibility that there would be no doubles in 33. Extremely unlikely for clarity. Smash a like. About 20% of you have done it. I'm sitting here holding it in. Smashing a like would make me smile. Thank you. Bubby96 says, hi mate. Mateta replacement needs to play this week and next. Who best out of Larson, Pedro, Welbeck or Marmoush? And who'd start of Wan-Bissaka and O'Brien? You probably got Isak, in which case O'Brien. From that list, Marmoush, mate. It's where I'm going. If I go, Pedro and Welbeck are not considerations for me at this moment. It might become game week 32. Rory says, afternoon from South Africa, James. What are your thoughts on playing Gakpo or selling him? Have Dango on the bench? Yeah, kind of as I answered for someone right near the start of the stream. I think you got it. Pray in it. I think, how sick are you if you sell when he starts? Yeah. Lukey Boy 123 says, hi James, who do you think is more likely to start out of Dango or Pedro? I think Dango, seen as Pedro started 120 minutes in the cup. What do you think, mate? Thanks. I think Pedro, actually, from the two as per my predicted lineups. King of Mandalore says, decided to keep Gakpo and roll so I can get Haaland next week. If no news, would you start him or bench for Kluivert? Oh, I mean, again, like, even if he was a sub, if he got half hour against that team, and they're probably already beat, is better than many players in the average game getting 90, mate, honestly. Yeah, I'd play Gakpo. Paige Turner says, howdy, James. Read any good books lately? No. Sorry. I tried to read a few menus outside some restaurants in Dutch on Thursday, and that didn't go very well. Thomas, that was literal double Dutch, mate. Thomas Jefferson says, hi, James. Start Kirkes or Milenkovic this week. For context, I own Wood and no Man City asset. Cheers. Kirkes upside, I think. Richard M. Start Colwell or Gabriel. Many thanks. Oof, I'd not really considered that would be one. If you've got Colwell, it plays, doesn't it? I think, yeah, Colwell. I'm just trying to think. I've got both, and never deliberated a scenario where I might not be playing one of them this week, actually. I think Colwell. Murphy says, top man James, bench Semenyo or Nwaneri. I think Nwaneri, yeah. Philip Sukta says, if playing free hit 29, which forward is the best to replace Cunha? Thinking Wood, Marmoush or Strand Larson, which would give flexibility if I decide to run through 29 after all. Yeah, I don't mind that as an option. Excuse me, Philip. Yeah, if you feel like keeping your options open, I'm aware that I could still end up launching a wild card later today. I don't intend to, but if I suddenly land in a position where like a few players got injured today and stuff, be like, oh my god, yeah, I might just have to do this. Jordan Pickford goes off injured tonight. That could be a game changer for me. I go, we're doing this. Could be. Because otherwise I'm in the realms of too much work to fix next week. So, yeah, I think on that basis then, mate, Cunha is the most... sorry, not Cunha. I'm literally reading your question back in my mind. Wood is the safest way to go. I'm going to say that because that's pretty much where I'm going to be, mate. Sam Jones says, hi, James. Running a half marathon at 10:30. Looking forward to your dulcet tones powering me through the first 30, 45 minutes. I wish you the very best of luck, Sam. Feel free. I don't know if you're going to do this because you're already running. But if you want to drop a link to like people for support you, do that. And a massive shout out to our patrons who have supported one of our own, Lee Sherwood, with a fundraiser that we're doing for Lee. He's running the Brighton and the London marathons. Our patrons have raised over £1,500 for him. Whoop! Welcome to the Planet FPL community. If you want to support the show, you can at www.patreon.com/planetfpl. So next time, Sam, you know where to go. Alex Barrett says, morning, James. Would you start Kepa or Sells? Sorry if I'm benching Dilemma. Sorry. Kepa or Sells? Tottenham. Sells. LP says, hi, James. Would you replace Rodgers this week? And if so, who for? Needs to play in 29 and at least to game week 31. Already have Bowen and 2 Bournemouth mids. I was going to say Bournemouth mids, so it's not that, is it? Gee, is there anything better over the 3 weeks? Elanga? But yeah, you don't make that move now, mate. Nah, if you were free hitting 29, say like Ismail Assar, I'm just thinking you're in around that value. The Wolves ones, fucking hell. Punty in there, innit? Like Manetzi or Bellegarde. You don't want to do that, do you? I don't think. I think it's a no, mate. I think. Because I think Elanga maybe, but then I just think you don't force that this week. You just do it next week, mate. Frank Seagull says, hi, James. Should I buy Vardiol for Dunk or just start Anderson and roll? If you know you're going there for Vardiol, it's similar to some of the ones I've said about Wood. I'd probably just get that done, mate. Baron Bain says, hey, James, who would you bench between Elanga, João Pedro, Bowen and Watkins? Probably Elanga, actually. It wouldn't be either Bowen or Watkins, I know that. And he says, if wildcarding in 29 with no free hit available, how do we build a team that navigates through to the end of the season, or at least try to? Well, I might have a podcast for that, but you need to vote correctly later in the week. Adam says, hey, James, bench one of Dango, Enzo, Wood, Rodgers. The one that I can't be sure is going to start, and that's Dango, mate. TS says, is Williams an avoid if we want him to play game week 30 as well? It's 2 days after FA Cup, and Moreno can't play in 31 versus Villa, so 3 games in 8 days. I don't know if they've moved the Premier League fixtures yet for further. Isn't Forest who have Forest got in the cup? It's Brighton. That's the Saturday game, isn't it? It's Saturday to Tuesday. It's 3 days. And then there's a jump to not Manchester United, sorry, Aston Villa is then on the Saturday, I think, isn't it? That's got to be right. Yeah, I think it's possible and overthink, mate. I think Williams will play. You might even find Moreno starts the cup game. It might sound weird, but it could even be that, right? So, no, if you want Nico Williams, I stressed real concern about that a couple of months ago, but I don't think that concern exists now. So, no, if you want to get him. FPL Uproar says, if you went for Marmoush and Wood, who would you bench out? Clivert, Bowen, Bumo, and Wood and Marmoush. Cheers. On a stick, mate. Just be honest with you, from that lot, it's probably Marmoush. Gazman says, morning James, wildcarding next week and would like 2 free transfers for 30. But bench is all flagged today and own Dango. Cunha to Vissa or roll and chance it. Good luck, mate. You're wildcarding next week. I would be buying Nketiah all day, every single day. I would be buying Eddie Nketiah, mate. I said this yesterday. I'm surprised that it's got this far in the stream and it's the first time we've mentioned him. I would be buying Eddie Nketiah with no doubt. But if your choice is Vissa, then I would still be doing that. Savanch Singh says, hi James, only left with my free hit and wildcard set on free hit 33. What would be a better wildcard time? Game week 31 or 34, 35? Feels like it would be kind of dependent on your team, my friend. No? How shit is your team going to look come game week 31? Huh? I think probably... Yeah, I mean, it depends how bad you're landing when you hit 31, doesn't it, right? So if you're setting for free at 33, you know that you can set a team in 31 that's going to go 31, 32, 34 and beyond. That's fine. I guess ultimately, mate, this how are you going to sit when you hit 31 is going to decide this. I don't think there's I said this on Tuesday, I don't think there's this is the fucking template way to do this year. It's team dependent. Olmo Secco says, Hall, Vandenberg, my bench defenders, 2 free transfers, got 10 players for 29. With Vandenberg, you might get a bench appearance next week, maybe. I think I saw Ross FPL Raptor say this yesterday, didn't he? We'll be there for the 1-pointer. Would you do Hall to Agbadou? Bench this week. Could go Munoz, bench Milenkovic, but he's scheduled before 30, putting off. Cheers, good luck. Is Munoz scheduled today putting you off? And it obviously doesn't fix your problem for next week. What's the defenders you've got this week? I don't know if you've got 3 really strong defenders, in which case the information for next week would feel more important. But Hall's going one way or the other, mate. He's going one way or the other. What's Agbadou do to impact your plans for future weeks, mate? Sabina Khan says, is Isak a safe captain option? I really wouldn't be considering that this week, to be totally honest. Shout out to our patrons, by the way, watching live. Thanks for your regular support. If we've got any team news coming in for Forest City, you know what to do. Please double check sources. It will be particularly useful and important for yours truly this week if we've got anything. So please drop me a tag on Slack, guys. And if anyone's dropped me messages, I'm really sorry, but I slept a lot. And so I am behind on some messages. JP says, I have Utara, Hall, Cunha on my bench. Who do I bring in for red flag players for 29? I have Gabriel, Robinson, Milenkovic, Trent, Visser, Isak, Chris Wood. Sonny Jim says, and that wasn't part of the question, that was the answer. Sonny Jim says, on wildcard this week because I had 4 players suspended. Really like going early, essentially get a free hit 29 team. Also taking a 1-week punt on Darwin and thinking of giving him the armband. Overall 2.7k. Well, Jim, good luck. Mark Penter says, good luck, James. Have a great weekend. You too. Florentine P says, hi. I just literally lost your question, mate. Sorry. I will find you, mate. Play Gabriel or Strand Larson, thanks. Who's your other three defenders to be benching Gabriel? Is the question here Larson or someone else? Because, I mean, I had the Gabriel Colwell question earlier and it threw me a little bit. I mean, I've got Gabriel on the bench in dilemmas. But it's pretty much only Munoz, yes, I'd go over Gabriel Colwell. Yet. So you could have like Munoz, Colwell, Trent. I guess they would all play over Gabriel. Couldn't argue that. Struggling to think what another one would be, though. So unless you've got that kind of exact sort of combination, you'd be playing Gabriel, mate. Gabriel, to answer your question, anyway. United are not good at defending set plays. Ultimately, we'll decide that. I bet he scores this weekend. Just putting it out there. Jerry Darmy says, hello, Jimbo. Do you think Arsenal will easily beat United at Old Trafford with how pathetic United have been at home lately? Yep. Andrew Brighton says, stuck on a Hall replacement, free hit in 29, looking at Canate and Vardiol, but seriously considering a Trippier punt. Yeah. Is that a psychological of the impact of you free hitting 29? I get it. It's like it's a player someone else can't have, isn't it? You know, West Ham now, you skip, it doesn't matter. Then you run into Brentford, Leicester, double. Good coverage for 34, Ipswich. I get it. I just don't know if he can play that all them games. I think he's at an age profile now where there's a concern about that. But I certainly acknowledge, Andrew, that you've spoken about him as a punt. So I think you already know it. I wouldn't be investing in Canate at this stage. I haven't got him in my predicted lineup this week. So still, I think from that light, it's Vardiol, irrespective of the fact that you're free hitting 29. Abdul Hamid says, good day, James. Everyone snags the like. Smash a like, everyone. I have bench boost, wildcard and free hit left. What would you suggest for order of priority? Like rolling through 29. I realise it is team dependent. Thanks for all the content. So you're likely rolling through 29. I mean, look, on the face of it, wildcard 31, bench boost 33, free hit 34, but prepare to change. And if you're going down the wildcard 31, then you can prepare to change and go, actually, you know what, shit, I'm going to bench boost 32 and free hit 33. Well, that might be what you end up doing. So therefore, you don't need to make that decision just yet. FPL Maggot says, good morning. Good morning. Brandon says, start 8 Nori at Howson. 8 Nori. Downstairs says, morning legend. Currently benching Cliver out of him, Boomo, Neto, Wood, Thoughts. Get well soon. Smash a like and up the trees. Good luck, Forest, this weekend, mate. Yeah, I think you've got that right. Yeah, nothing to add, Dan. I think Cliver could obviously do well against my team, but I think out your choices, I think you've got that right. Howard Green says, Cunha to Wood and Hall to 8 Nori. Thoughts? Fire away, mate. Jerry Dummy says, my blank injured players for 29 are Trent, Munoz, Hall, Salah, Isak and Dye. Is this worth free hit 29? Raya, Gabriel and Locks. Yeah, it's too many players here. Right, more to point. Okay, Hall is useless to you and Dye is useless for you. You bin that, and if you want to carry the other four, carry the other four. So the answer is no. Heather says, morning, James. Who to bench from Marmoush, Cliver, Boomo, Isak, Wood? I think Marmoush, because unless there's some form of clarity that we can say, yeah, he's going to start. No. I'll see if I can. I will keep an eye on some messages. It's people sending me DMs while I'm on a deadline stream. I just never really listened to my content before, have they? Peter says, hi James, I have Gabriel and Nwaneri and fancy another Arsenal player just for the fun of it. Which do you think would be the best third one to get? Raya or Saliba? Trossard punty for a couple of weeks, I don't mind. Not massively keen though. Butter says, hey James, confidence Salah starts, big game Tuesday. Let's see, games he hasn't started this season. Plymouth, Accrington. Who are they? Exactly. Is there any others? League Cup games, Southampton. quarterfinals before that, games before that in the League Cup. Started every Premier League game, mate. This isn't the first time Liverpool have had Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday this season. And it's then a 5-day gap to Newcastle. Yeah. Yeah, generally, I think he's about 95%, personally. Lee Sherwood is my boy. This is no question. Just left for the airport. Won't even hear your reply. All the best this weekend. Thanks again for the help lately. Like the stream. You're very welcome, Lee. That's my man who our patrons raised a phenomenal amount of money for. Safe journey. John Leary says, hi James, just curious about your thinking of having Dango over starters in the benching dilemmas, even though you'll think he'll be benched. Yeah, as per said, look at that XG against Tottenham in game week 14 when he was a substitute. Jerry W, do you think it's impossible for PSG to come back at Anfield, considering how unstoppable Liverpool are at Anfield and only Nuno of all people can beat Slot there, whereas Ancelotti can't? Okay. No, it's definitely not impossible, mate. I'll tell you what, if PSG play as well as they did on Wednesday night, I wouldn't be surprised at all. They're outstanding. I think that is, I said this on our Patreon podcast yesterday, I think that's the best performance I've seen from any team this season. Factoring everything involved, the quality of the opponent, etc. Yeah, sure, result, outcome, whatever. They were fantastic, Paris Saint-Germain. So no, I would not rule them out at all. Flacker says, I love your content, my old bald daddy. Cool. I mean, daddy's interesting. But whatever makes you happy, mate. Paolo says, start Visser or Enzo. Visser. Craig Meredith, hi James, play Pickford or Raya. Tom Borton says, you know what, I need to remember to make my own transfers here, don't I? Don't forget, James. Your brain is liable to. Tom Barton says, best sub 4.0 defender and sub 4.5 striker to facilitate Haaland. Fucking hell, mate. Can we include Agbadu at 4 or not? So Agbadu, if you can have, it's fine. If not, he's probably still Jacob Graves, isn't it? I think it's 3-9, I think. If not, there must be an Ipswich alternative. And forward is probably Obi, isn't it, at Manchester United, I think. But I wouldn't necessarily be going down this route, Tom, I must say. But there's your answers. FPL Yellow Army, my friend, hope you're well. Says, hi James, got a big headache this week. Do I do Gakpo to Marmouche, but only one free transfer? Bench Gakpo for Dango or start Gakpo over Dango? I start Gakpo over Dango. I think, as per I said for others, my friend, it's keep your fingers crossed and pray, mate. I don't think there's not a lot else can be done, I think. Tarek Haig says, hi James, hope you're good, mate. Just play Wan-Bissaka or Mikalenko, have Pickford also. I probably have a little bit of favouritism for Wan-Bissaka, but if you've got Isak, I'd go the other way. Excuse me. Mike Denker says start 2 of Enzo, Wood or Kluivert. Yeah, I think I would leave Enzo out despite the amazing fixture. Anthony says, hi James, is Munoz a good Hall replacement even if it means being a man down next week? Yeah, Munoz is right in consideration, right? Because let's just think of it this way. Originally, we're going to play Newcastle next week, right? Chances are 1-2 pointer next week, yeah? Under that circumstance. If that was the case, how would you feel? You'd be like, yes, Munoz. You got 28, it's great. 30 is great. Double 32. Just think of it like that, mate. Right? Chances are, if you had a fixture next week, it was going to be a shit return anyway, truthfully. Most likely. Yeah, you want to go Munoz, you go Munoz, mate. Right, well pay for you. Who's next? Bozza says, I know hindsight is a wonderful thing. If you could go back, would you change your chip usage this season? Well, I definitely wouldn't have fucking pressed activate on a -56 and had to use my free hit. But otherwise, the choices made on triple captaincy, I think, was right when I went with Mo. Bench boost game week 1, I would not go back and change. And I've been clear on that over the last couple of weeks. I said last year that I felt it worked out in the end. It would have been better off saving it. I don't feel that way this week. I spoke about that this year. Sorry. I spoke about that on Tuesday's podcast. So, no, I mean, the free hit is what it was. Otherwise, no. Right, I need to fucking make some transfers here, don't I? He said some. Are you going to go Marmouche? My intention is not to go Marmouche at this moment. I'm just going to go Wood. I'm going to make that transfer now. I don't think there's surely not a reason for me to kind of hold back on that at this stage, is there? So Wood to Cunha is done. Apologies, it's not normal that I make transfers during this stream. Someone did say to me the other day, I said, do you ever make transfers towards the like during your stream? Why don't you do it? And there'll be a time. And here we go. Here we are. So Wood to Isak is done. I'll see if I can update the graphic for you. But while I try and do that, I'll simultaneously answer a question. Tarek Haig says, hi James, bench Rogers or Dango? Dango, mate. Nicola Torco, hi James. Do you see an upside from Aït-Nouri to Munoz? The one going out the team is Hall. Thank you and good luck. You obviously can't go Munoz to Hall. I'm going to guess, maybe. Would that be kind of where it's at? I don't know. Is that where it'd be at? I mean, I would not, if it was an Aït-Nouri owner, I would not be changing that at this moment. Wouldn't touch that. No, I just think with that's a different one to, kind of saying earlier about, well, Munoz might not have had anything next week anyway. Sure. But Aït-Nouri does have Southampton next week. And that does feel like a scream of, hey, what's happening in my team now? Like, I think there's a slightly bigger picture to that, and I'd let that one go personally. So no, Aït-Nouri would stay. Terry Williams says, triple captain Salah, wildcard 31, bench boost 32, free hit 33. What do you think? I suggested, Terry, that this might be where people end up. I spoke about it on Tuesday, saying I can see a scenario where people deviate their bench boost 33 plan to 32. So, yeah, again, the fact that you're wildcarding 31. As answered for others earlier, not that confident to go Salah triple captaincy today. If you truly feel it, Terry, best player in the league, mate. Hazim says, I don't own Munoz. Should I transfer him in for Gabriel? No, wouldn't do that. Mike Oxdong says, good morning, James. Start Dango or Rogers. Pliskin Snake says, morning, James. Start Rogers or Dango. Literally just done that for someone else, mate. Sack says, any thoughts on the fact it's Ramadan for Salah and bang in the middle of the day? I saw Andy, Let's Talk FPL, the king of YouTube, posted something this morning or last night, I'm not sure, looking at Salah's returns over Ramadan, and you really could make your narrative however you want from that, mate. I wouldn't read too much into it, mate, personally. I think you can have your narrative that way. It's the only league game that's going to impact him now, because I did check this morning. I think it ends at the end of March, so even Gameweek 30 is not going to be an impact. If you want to have a narrative from that, have a narrative from that, but it's not a narrative I'd be trying to go for personally. So no, I think you'll probably be absolutely fine. Why are you doing this to me? It's not doing what I want to do. Right, let's answer another question. We are 4 minutes from deadline, guys. I'm going to cover a couple more and I'm going to go to the end of the questions. Thank you, John Leary, saying everyone smash a like. Yeah, cheers, mate. Tommaso Salvadori, hi James. Sold Hall and Cunha to Munoz and Evan Nilsson from -4. 4 on sell. Nwaneri to Eze from -8. I'm okay. Free hit 29. No, I'd leave it be. I think I'd leave it be at the moment. Yeah. Scott Duckett says, and Ketcher or Darwin. I'm going to presume this is a request for 1 week punts. And I'm going to say, and Ketcher, as I've been very clear on over the last 24 hours or so, if I had this concluded I was taking a 1 week punt, I absolutely would be going Eddie and Ketcher this week. It's absolutely perfect. It can only be bought by people taking the 1 week punt. There's no yeah, if you're running through, no one else is considering this with Eddie and Ketchup. So he's perfect. Absolutely perfect. The epitome of a 1 week punt. Get it done. Taylor Bernard says, going to go Rodgers to Cliver next week. Do I just go for it this week? Again, similar to, I think someone asked about Rodgers Semenyo earlier. Same answer, mate. I just sit tight at a minute. Cam Rules says, hi, James. No question. Keep up the good work, mate. Everyone, please hit the like button. Thank you. AAA says, bench Castagne or Agbadou. I mean, like, Agbadou's a 4.0 defender. Grim. Thank you, Jaro. Omar Mamouche, FPL newsletter and FPL Main Road reporting Omar Mamouche does not start for Manchester City. FPL Main Road also, thank you, Jaro, reporting that Phil Foden starts for Manchester City. Those are reliable sources. As usual, take that information with the risk attached. But just to clarify that, that's two strong accounts saying Omar Mamouche, bench for Manchester City. That's FPL Newsletter, Lazy FPL on Twitter, and FPL Main Road. And Phil Foden starts, also coming from FPL Main Road as well. They are two very reliable accounts. It's not to say it's 100% correct, because they have had things that have gone wrong in the past, but it's passed on with good information and should be trusted ultimately. With that in mind, and it being so close to deadline, I am going to pretty much skip to the end of the questions. I would play Castagne. Keir Morrison says, best Chelsea midfield punt for Diaz or just leave and hope he gets 20 minutes. I've got Diaz in my predicted Liverpool lineup, mate. Grant Shadowman, thank you for putting that in the chat. It's really appreciated. But obviously, like others have followed it up, please give the context of where the information is coming from. Otherwise, people can panic and don't know if they can trust, etc., etc. So, to report that last minute news, Marmouche reported benched. Both those accounts are reliable. That's not in doubt. Right. I did say I'd put my updated team on the screen, didn't I? I'll get round to it at some point today. There we go. I think we can do it now, maybe. We are deadline, I believe, guys, has hit. So, in the end, I decided not to buy Marmouche, and ultimately that's going to prove to be correct anyway, right? So, certainly glad I didn't go early and decide to go for that as a -4, but I kind of decided that I ultimately didn't feel it anyway, and that's an off-putter for him for next week as well. And that's you can see my team updated on screen now. That ultimately has now as well left the option open for me to go Haaland next week, should I deem that I want to do so. If anyone's got any non-FPL questions, I'm happy to cover for 10 minutes, so I'm not going to stay for long because I'm struggling a little bit. But I'll cover a few off. If you came just for the FPL, please smash a like, hit the sub button. I will be here again on Monday with Suj, almost definitely, for the Gameweek 28 review podcast. Content next week, I can tell you there'll be that Monday, Clayton and James Wednesday. My intention for a People's Poll podcast is Gameweek 29 themed, as you might have heard me allude to earlier on the stream. I haven't decided if that's going to be Tuesday or Thursday yet. It might end up being Thursday this week. Clash of Correspondence will be Bournemouth versus Brentford with Neil Grover and Tom Med. Ask James will be next Friday. If you want to support the show, it's www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Please do it because you want to support the show, help keep our lights on, or because you would like access to the additional content, which next week will include the usual 5 additional podcasts during the week and additional video content from myself at advanced tier, podcasts available from intermediate plus tier. If you have any questions about Patreon, my DMs are open, and my DMs are also open for people who have general life questions and just want a little bit of help sometimes, not with their FPL team, but just with the general stuff, you know, a bit of mental health support as well. Shout out for it's Women's International Day today as well, so shout out to all the ladies in the chat. Hope you all have a great weekend. I'm sure you all will, other than my wife, because she's got to put up with coughing me for this weekend. Right, if anyone's got any non-FPL, I'll cover them off for a little bit. I see FPL for us. Thank you for your sterling work as ever on the stream, mate. It says the game's updating. That's good. I don't think we've got any other information going around the City team. We'll all have it in 13 minutes or so anyway. KP says, hi James, hope you feel better. Who are your teams to get through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League? Sorry, I'm just reading a couple. I'm going to come back onto that. I'm just reading a couple of others that was interesting me. I'm going to come back to yours. I will come back to it. Gavin Richardson, non-FPL, took your advice about my friend. Excuse me, sorry. Richard, he was very uncomfortable with the term arse man. Talked it through, and he is much more at ease with things these days. Thank you. Lee Sherwood saying deadline closed, but do we know if it's actually closed? We do think it is, yeah. Malakaz says, cheers for that, James. You're welcome. Just a dad posted stuff benching confirmed. The team will be out shortly. FPL coping, 20-minute double incoming from Marmouche. Yeah, you know how this works. Thomas Thornton says, love you as always, buddy. Had a mare last night and clicked to bring in Haaland and Nwaneri in from minors. Meant to do it this week, so no Palmer today. We've got some great news for you, mate. Cole Palmer won't do anything today, mate. Tomorrow, different problem. DLG says, what do you think should happen with James Maddison from a fan's point of view? I was really hoping someone would answer me this question. Yeah. Madders, you got some fucking making up to do, boy, I'm telling you. I'd rather not say at the moment. He pissed me off to the maximum. Yeah. Yeah. He can fuck off, quite frankly. I don't care. Yeah. For those who don't know the context, he stood in front of all the Tottenham fans after the game in the Netherlands with kind of like a what pose, like what's the problem? Your performances are a problem, mate. So yeah, sack him off, mate. Get rid, quite comfortably. I saw Villa linked Cole. If Villa want to do like some little sort of like cute little PSR activity deal where you can take him and we'll take someone like Jacob Ramsey, Cole, sign me up all day long. See, I didn't even say Morgan Rogers. What's realistic about that? Jacob Ramsey, yeah, long held interest. Jacob Ramsey, do me, yeah, cool, fine, swap. I mean, just take him anyway. Yeah, I'm not happy with him at all. Thank you, Java, and I appreciate you tagging me down on Slack. Appreciate it, mate. You were the one. Pushkar Kalkani says, in retrospect, do you think having the FPL deadline move back helped to stop the leaks? I do see less leaks in general, but they do come through like today. Is it a massive swing? Is it fair? He's definitely better, isn't it? When it was an hour, I was getting everything. I didn't obviously had to change anyway because obviously the lineup's coming out hour and 15 before anyway. Personally, would like it if it went up to kickoff of first game. But it wouldn't solve the problem. You would, if it had gone up to say 12:30 today with the deadline, you'd probably get little bits filtering through from the 3 o'clocks from someone. So you're never gonna like kill it off unless you change the complete format of the game. KP says, right, we'll come back to yours. The quarterfinals in the Champions League. So I think it will be Liverpool against Villa, Arsenal against Madrid, Barcelona against Lille, and Inter against Bayern. I watched Inter Wednesday. That was a stroll. and I watched Liverpool obviously Wednesday night. Jonathan says, did you see Matt Doherty's pen last week? I haven't seen a worse taken spot kick since Diana Ross penalty at the 1994 World Cup. No, I haven't, so I can't comment, I'm afraid. Christopheros says, hi James, good luck with the game week. Do you really see Spurs losing again? I'm thinking we win. Ultimately, mate, Bournemouth are a better football team than us. And if don't like that reality, I'm sorry, we have to deal with it. And we're a better football team than us, comfortably. It's not close at the moment. So can we beat them on our turf if we play to our potential? Yeah. Then you factor in the 3-day turnaround. Mind you, their fitness level should be pretty good considering the disgusting performance I watched on Thursday night. So shouldn't be too much fatigue involved. But mentally, they're possibly going to end up saving themselves a bit again for Thursday. Yeah. Also, who cares? Truthfully, it's all about Thursday. And after what I saw on the Thursday just gone, that don't particularly matter that much either. Because if we lose, it's going to save me how much money? How much money? And thumping around to, like, almost definitely be going to Frankfurt in the next round just to get beat by an even better football team. That's what's most likely, mate. B Badgeworth says, was set on my Mushin, but going wood now with the leak. Thanks for keeping us up to date, James. The info is passed on in good faith. And I always say it's really important, double check your sources and whatnots, right? And most of you are very good for it. But as mentioned earlier, to someone just put in the chat, Marmoush bench. Come on, context. It's really so important to quote sources under this sort of circumstance. So yeah, the info filtered through from our patron network and stuff, so they keep you all looked after. It's not really me, it's the patrons really look after you. And Javo's in the chat was first to shout, man. Henriette says, good stream, James, thank you, helpful as always. Was curious to hear what you do to show that you appreciate your wife. And that's the end of the stream. If everyone could smash a like on their way out, be truly appreciated. I listen. I just try and make my wife's life as easy as possible and as stress free as possible. She's my best mate, and I know I take the piss and stuff. So I like to tell my wife every day that I love her, and she likes to normally just respond to me with that look as if to go no. Vindaloo says, hi James, my first season, loved the Planet FPL content, thank you mate, truly appreciate it. Gavin Richardson says, what's been more disappointing this week, Madison's reaction after the game Thursday or the Newcastle ITK output? You do look shattered, no offence, have a restful weekend later. I'm not taking it personally, mate, because I feel that as well, but I did at least get some proper sleep. I probably slept more last night than I had the previous 2 nights combined, maybe even the previous 3 nights combined. So I do feel better. Like my eyes have felt like they've been bleeding all week. My eyes feel much better today. So that's, particularly when looking at a screen, is very helpful. Newcastle ITK leakers are not pissing me off, Gavin. I mean, I've mentioned them again on the Patreon pod yesterday, but absolutely useful. Must drive Newcastle fans bonkers. They are the worst lot for ITK. And it's not pointing fingers at Newcastle fans. I'm just saying it's just always so much ITK bullshit from Newcastle. Thomas Thornton says, what is your favourite goal in Prem history? I like Crouch, Cisse, Letitia and Cantona, as well as 2 from Yeboah. That's a very easy one for me, mate. Dele Alli at Selhurst Park. Yeah. I can still remember. I wasn't at the game. I was in a pub. Back when you get pubs with the dodgy 3 o'clocks and stuff. Oh my God, what a limbs moment. Just remember oh my God, walking around, oh my God, over and over again. What a goal. To do that, scored a winning goal with 5 minutes to go of a football match. Staggering. Rhino says, and obviously, look, it's my team, so I'm having it. Rhino says, morning, get well soon. What do you think the atmosphere will be like tomorrow? Will the crowd appreciate how good Bournemouth are, or is it just win or boo? Just win or boo, mate. Listen, I ain't going to boo them, mate. I don't see but yeah. You got people like Madison coming over and doing what he did the other night. You're going to get told to F off, mate. And I didn't, by the way. I didn't tell him to F off. Just stood there and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. There's plenty of others were giving it, I can tell you. Yeah, it'd be. I mean, it's like that anyway, Eddie. Even if we'd done really well on Thursday, you'd lose the Bournemouth boo on it. Shit fan mentality. We're not the only club with that problem. Jack says, "Hi James, hope you feel better soon. How do you feel about putting crisps on a sandwich?" Yeah, I'm cool with that, mate. Couple of really good ones. So, say prawn cocktail and a ham sandwich. Also salt and vinegar, banger. So primarily with ham. I'd say a great little combination with crisps as well is Mars bar. Mars bar and ready salted crisps. Same time. Blind me. Finally. Thank you.
All the posts came at once.
Listen, while you're here, there was a question for you. Maybe you can answer it. This is from Henriette. She says, "Good stream, James. Thank you. Helpful as always. Was curious to hear what you do to show that you appreciate your wife."
Oh.
Going well, this, isn't it?
Oh, why did I open the post?
Don't open the post. I'm doing a live stream. Answer the question.
What was the question? What do you do to show me you appreciate?
Yeah.
Oh, loads of things. Lots.
Can you give an example? Like try not to cough in your face kind of gig?
Yeah, you don't cough in my face.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, what have you put me on the spot?
Would you like to go out for dinner tonight?
I'm going
Just
out.
me, you, and our beautiful son. Are you going out tonight as well?
Yeah, bye.
See? Look. Waiting on these. What do? Go to the next game, right? Actually, decent seats. Dad, if you're watching, got the Fulham tickets. We should have come a week ago. Bizarrely, we've not had any post all week. So I've been like, where's my Fulham tickets? So, yeah, Fulham. Oh, it reminds me I need to apply for Chelsea away as well. So, whatever on it. To be honest, they're down the road, but like, I ain't going to Liverpool again this season. Fucking rough to bother, man. Fuck that shit. Yeah, actually, I think to be honest, I go where I want on that Putney end at Fulham anyway. But yeah, got them. Great. I hope my wife managed to answer that question, which no, she fucking didn't, did she? Basically, so whatever. Who's next? Crisps, yeah, ready salted crisps and Mars bar. So literal crisps, Mars bar, crisp, Mars bar. That's the one, mate. Oh no, I can see an Ange question. Matty H says, "Hi James, have you heard the Under the Kosh podcast with Michael Brown? Says there was a shocking dressing room at Spurs and picked out Stefan Delmat. Do you remember? Stefan Delmat was an enigma, mate. Boy, could he play. But he weren't going to run. He wasn't going to run. He had talent. He had talent and then boot Stefan Delmat. But yeah, we probably saw it in glimpses of like 3 or 4 games out of, say, 20. Yeah, he'd be a passenger a lot. And this was a team fighting relegation as well. So to carry him was problematic. But he won us a couple of games. I remember one goal he scored against Wolves. Choke. And I remember having a very good night in a midweek game at home to Birmingham as well. But there weren't many. But yeah, I mean, the answer to your question, Matty, is no, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that was a mess, that team at that time. But a bigger one than now. And then I heard that in the hotel the other night. Oh, it's the worst Spurs team I've seen in my lifetime. And this guy would be like my dad's age. And I'm thinking, have you forgot the 90s, mate, and the early 90s? Like, it's bad. It's bad in context, but I've seen worse. B Badger says, if Ange goes this summer, do you have someone you'd like to come in? Yeah, and it would piss off Neil Grover. Luis Enrique. Dream big, right? That would be first choice for me. That's obviously the PSG manager. It's not happening. Iriola is the one that they're going to get linked with hugely, isn't it? So, it's not to say would accept it. But if Bournemouth didn't qualify for the Champions League, there's every chance that money would talk. And it's not so he doesn't get paid well at Bournemouth. I have no idea, mate. And as I've already said on the stream, Bournemouth are a much better football team than Tottenham at the moment. But there is a food chain. I know where my team is, right? It's not there. It's there. And Bournemouth are there. It's just a reality. It might not be there this season now. It's just how it is. So I think that would be probably Tottenham's realistic first choice. With Iraola, it's probably closest to on brand with a much stronger defensive setup. But equally, they've had injuries this season, and I have no idea how he would cope with playing twice a week regularly. No idea. So it could be back to the same problems. So the chances are, to answer your question, chances are now that Ange won't be Tottenham manager next season. It's sad. I think most Tottenham fans have been like me in terms of wanting it to work. I've got nothing left now to sit here and defend. Nothing. It's not. I'm not even sitting here saying I want him sacked. Don't. But I think Thursday goes badly. There's a chance that will happen. I feel a little bit of an emptiness about it at the moment. There's an inevitability about what happens next, whether it's Thursday or whether it's against Frankfurt in a quarter-final. Kind of feels inevitable that way at the moment. The team's not good enough, and he is a part responsible for that. So I don't think he'll be manager next year. Really wanted it to work. Bridges are burnt, and the only way he wins it back round for me now, I think, is winning the Europa League. And I do not foresee that happening. Could we turn it round Thursday? Yeah, absolutely. I see us winning 3 other ties against 3 other good teams. Well, no, I don't. Digit says, hope you feel better soon and have a nice weekend. What's your favourite form of potato? Chips, fried, mashed, hash brown, etc.? It depends on the time of day, mate. So you catch me in the morning, you're going to get a hash brown answer, mate. Anything from afternoon onwards, you're going to get chips. Gareth Payton says, if deadline was kick-off, we would be able to make changes during games some weeks when FPL forgot to click the button. Jay Barker says, morning, James. After the John Cena heel turn, all we need now is a Højlund Garnacho goal and Spurs to win a trophy before GTA 6 comes out. Either of them likely to happen? No. Yeah, you'll get a Højlund or Garnacho goal. But it'll be like in a game that's like irrelevant, like they're already 3-0 down. Thomas Thornton says, love that Dele Alli goal. I was in the pub too. So sad for Dele. He's at Como now. No, he was on the bench last week or the week before, I think. Let's hope it goes well for him. Yeah, King of Mandalore, Andrew has a few FPL uproar, a few laughing emojis. James Morgan, don't understand why you're not more upset about how absolutely useless Ange is. He's a whole new layer of rubbish. I've said my piece. I am very upset with how it is at the moment, mate. Connor Donaghy says, bought Marmouche about a minute before the league. Ouch. The double H, yeah, got it. Richard Marsh, I love Eric the Viking. Eric the Viking loves me. Jonathan says, Inzaghi. I mean, yeah, why are you getting out of Inter Milan? I'll be honest, I don't want a manager who's going to play a back three. Richard Marsh says, Cundy, Austin, Samways, Howes, Sedgley. That was the dodgy era. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Howes and Sedgley were very committed for the calls, and actually Dean Austin was nowhere near as bad as people used to make out. I've seen worse right backs than him, I'm certain. And I liked Vinny Samways. Go and watch Vinny Samways' performance in the 91 FA Cup final, mate. He grabbed that with Gascoigne leg broken. Vinny Samways grabbed that FA Cup final. People got short memories. Bozza says no Marmouche and phone in confirmed. So I'm not going to cover any more questions, but yes, go on. We'll have a quick look at the Forest City lineups. I guess with Forest, there's always a chance that they could go back three with Morato coming into the team, and they've not done that this time. So yeah, a team as expected. I think. Checking, I think that's the lineup I had up. Looks like it. Dominguez in midfield with Anderson, yeah. Yes, it's that lineup. The City lineup is obviously not what I'm going to show you. Back four and goalkeeper is right. Bernardo Silva in the team, not Kovacic. and Foden for Marmoush. So it's 9 out of 11. Marmoush's sub, so it's Kovacic, Grealish, De Bruyne, Gundogan also on the bench for City as well. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Apologies that I've not been at 100% this week, and I'll be very honest, I don't think I'm going to be 100% come Monday either, but I will be back with the content then. Smash your like, hit the sub button. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope your arrows are green. Ciao for now, everyone.